Hello friends, good to have you back in school today. Today we have language and science, but now we're going to start with language. Now, if you could remember, on Monday we introduced a new topic, which is punctuation. We talked about punctuation, and on Monday we saw the different punctuation marks we use at the end of different sentences. If you could remember very well, we talked about the telling sentence, which tells us about someone or something, and at the end of a telling sentence we put a period. So this is called a period, okay, at the end of a telling sentence. And we also talked about an asking sentence, which is a sentence that asks us about someone or something. And we said that at the end of asking sentences, we put a question mark. So this is a question mark. And the last type of sentence we talked about was surprising sentences. And we said that surprising sentence, it shows strong feelings or emotions, okay? And then when you have such sentences, we use exclamation mark at the end. So this is an exclamation mark. So we talked about a period, a question mark, and an exclamation mark on Monday. So today we're going to be looking at another punctuation, which is the comma. We're going to be looking at this punctuation mark. It is written like this. This is called the comma. Everyone say comma. And it is spelled C-O-M-M-A. This is a comma, okay? So this is the sign, or this is the punctuation mark we will be talking about today. Now, what is a comma? Where do we use a comma? What is it used for? How do we use it in a sentence? Just like you already know where we use this, our punctuations, the period, the question mark, and the exclamation mark. We use them at the end of different sentences. Now, where do we use a comma in a sentence? A comma is used to separate items in a list. Okay, if you have items, a lot of items in a list, this is where we use the comma to separate each item in a list. So, for example, I'm going to write down some sentences on the board where we have to use the commas. Okay, so number 1, my favorite colors are red, blue, pink, and orange. And at the end, we put a full stop or a period because this is an example of a telling sentence. Now let's read together. My favorite colors are red, blue, pink, and orange. Now listen properly while we read it one more time so that you can see where we have items being listed in the sentence. Let's go again. My favorite colors are red, blue, pink, and orange. Now, if you listen carefully to the sentence, you will see that, okay, Mrs. Uche is listing her favorite colors. So when you come to here, my favorite colors are, this is where the listing starts. The first favorite color of Mrs. Uche is red. So after the red, we put a comma. Remember we said that comma is used to separate items. We have to separate them. Red is one word. The next color is blue. You have to put also a comma after blue. And the next color is pink. Okay, so when you look at this now, you can see that the colors are being separated with the comma. And now, another thing I would like you to take note of is this. When you get to the word and, you don't put comma after and. No, it is wrong. You only use your comma before the word and. Or sometimes it could be or. Okay, we're going to give another example using or. But whenever you see a word joining two other items together, you don't use your comma after that word. Okay, so you don't say and because you have orange here, you put comma here. No. Your comma separates the items in a sentence and it ends before you have a word joining two other words together. Is that understood? Okay, the second example is this. I would like to have a piece of chicken pizza or cake. Of course, we put a period at the end. So let's read it together. I would like to have a piece of chicken, pizza, or cake. Now here you can see that there are items being listed in the sentence. We have three items being listed. The first item is what? You would like to have a piece of chicken. The next item is pizza. And the last item is cake. Okay, so the person is trying to tell you that he or she would like to have a piece of chicken, a piece of pizza, or a piece of cake. Now remember where the comma comes in. We have to use the comma to separate list of items in a sentence. So these are the lists. So the comma comes in here, one and here. Whenever you have a word that joins two items or two words, you don't put a comma after. For example, you don't put your comma after or, because or is not a list. It's not a word telling you or listing something. It's not listing anything. It's a word we use to join pizza and cake. So there is no comma at the after or. All right. So let's turn our book to page 183. Page 183. You find that in the orange pages. And then you write the date. Wednesday, January 27, 2021. Wednesday, January 27, 2021. On page 183. So let's quickly do one of the exercises together and you continue with the other ones. Before we do that, let's read a short note in the book. It says, punctuation 2. We use a comma, this is the comma here, to separate items in a list, just like I showed you on the board. And you have an example. I love cookies, muffins, and fruit tarts. Let's read again. I love cookies, muffins, and fruit tarts. As you can see, the comma ends here before the word end. There is no comma after end. Okay? So I'm going to do number 1 for you, and then you do number 2 to number 8 by yourself. The instruction says, add commas in the correct places in the sentences. Number 1, Jasmine David and I go swimming every Sunday. Jasmine, David, and I go swimming every Sunday. So this is where you have the list. You have one person's name, Jasmine, and another person, David. So the comma comes in between Jasmine and David. So you put your comma here. Don't put the comma after David because you already have a joining word joining David and I. So just put a comma between Jasmine and David. All right, continue with number 2 to number 8, sorry. And when you're done, take a picture of your work and send to me or upload it on your portfolio in Class Dojo. If you still don't understand anything and you need more explanation, just send me a private message and I'll explain more to you. All right, guys, thanks and see you soon. Bye.